we find that after Yaakov had the prophecy on Hamariah and he awakens, he makes a neder. Im yeh Elokim imodi, if God will be with me, ushmorani baderech hazeh, and he will watch over me on this path, asher nochi holech, v'nosli lechon lechon beged libosh. So he says, if God will watch over me, ushmarani. So Rashi cites Chazal, Moshe Omer li ushmartich moshchatelech, as he originally said, I watch over you wherever you go. What level of shmirah did Avraham Avinu want? Did Yaakov Avinu want? The Rechaim HaKodesh points out. He says, "Im yeh Elokim imodi." Elokim is midas hadin. Why did he set the standard for himself, midas hadin? But that's the point, and therefore we find later, when he returned, he was concerned. Maybe he became soiled with sin. With midas harachmim, he'd be able to survive. But because the standard that he held himself to was this exacting standard, which is midas hadin, he was concerned. Shemen islachlachti bechet, maybe I became soiled with sin. But what shmir did he want? So the Yalkut, the Medrash tells us, Ushmorani migilei arayis shvichas domim v'avodah zorah v'loshen hara. The three cardinal sins and loshen hara. You shouldn't speak loshen hara. So firstly, we have no idea what Choron was, Lavan, that community, what kind of community this was. Yaakov, who all his life was immersed in Torah, Yaakov Yishtam Yesheholim, he spent 14 years in Shem Ve'ever. And it says, Vayishkev Mokamahu, those 14 years he didn't lie down to go to sleep. That was his level of immersion in Torah. And after everything said and done, he feels he needs a shmirah for Gili Arayos, not to commit incestuous or adulterous relationship, or avodah zorah, or shrichas dam, murder, loshen hara. Just to understand what that community was, that even he felt he could be affected by such a community. But if you're concerned about the three cardinal sins, how does he mention in conjunction loshen hara, that I shouldn't speak loshen hara? What is this all about? Now, the Chofetz Chaim points out that over time, if a person is not careful and doesn't study the halachas properly or at all, ultimately you're going to be in violation of 14 mitzvahs aseh and 17 mitzvahs lo aseh. Over time, what are one of the mitzvahs aseh a person will be in violation of? V'ahavta l'recha kamocha. You must love your fellows, you love yourself. Because if he says, I shall explain it to you. If you go over to a person, why did you speak negative about this person? He says, because it's true. He says, how do you know it's true? And if it is true, does it have any constructive value? He said, would you want anybody to say such a thing about you? He says, but that's me, that's him. That's the difference. So you see clearly, the only difference is because it's him or the other person himself. So therefore, it's a blatant violation of Ahavta l'recha kamocha if it's said in the context that you're not permitted to say it. When a person speaks loshen hara another person, what does that indicate? He's minimizing the value of that person. Because he values that person as he values himself, he wouldn't speak negatively about him. Now, if you minimize another person, that means you value his existence to be a lesser existence. Over time, you could minimize him to a point that if you ever choose to kill him, he'd say, well, his life, he has no value. In today's day and age, that a person is quantified by his financial value, what he's able to contribute, he can't contribute, his life has no value. This is the mindset. So a person, by speaking loshen hara, it doesn't start with murder, doesn't start with adultery, doesn't start with idolatry, but it starts with minimizing the other person, breaking the person down and turning him to something that he has a worthless value, and as a result of that, based on conflicts of interest, you could justify many things. Adultery, that's a husband, doesn't provide, doesn't care, it doesn't really make a difference. He's nothing. So it starts with loshen hara, but it ends chas v'sholem with adultery. It ends with murder. Avodah zorah. Once you put yourself in the position that you have a right to pass judgment on others, whether they have value, not value, You have a right to pass judgment on who actually is dictating existence. Is it a deity? Is it God? And if it's not to your liking, then you reject God. So it's all has to do with a person, the way he perceives himself and he perceives others. He perceives himself that he's the ultimate, rather than seeing his own flaws and his own shortcomings. And he only sees the others in a lesser level. When you see that, and this is expressed through Lashon Hara, you never know where that can end. Therefore, Yaakov, when he prays with Shmorani, it's not only from the most severe, but even the seeming less severe, which ultimately could bring to the more severe.